Kia ora, good evening. It was Judgment Day for the master manipulator, New Zealand's most prolific child sex abuser. Victim after victim described him as a monster, and the judge gave him a monster sentence. James Parker, a Northland school deputy principal, may well be in prison until he dies. Michael Morrow was at court.
He was the likeable, trusted teacher who immersed himself in a small far north community. But James Parker's intentions were sinister, his abuse systematic and premeditated.
What is clear is that you have harmed the small community that you were supposed to serve to an unimaginable degree.
In the dock, Parker couldn't face his victims who filled the courtroom. His head bowed, hands shaking, as they recounted the hurt he'd inflicted on their lives.
Every day I try not to let thoughts of this monster here before us, James Parker, into my head.
One boy told the court of how he was abused in 2008.
I blame you for a lot of my sad feelings, for my anger, even bad thoughts I now have to deal with. I think you're sicko.
At his home near Kaitaia, Parker indulged his appetite with weekend sleepovers with students. A teacher and deputy principal at Manipulator school, he betrayed the trust of both his victims and their parents.
In terms of the scale and effect of this prisoner's behaviour is in many respects without comparison in New Zealand's history.
20 victims and 74 charges, the most serious of which were 5 counts of sexual violation. His lawyer called for mercy. The judge felt differently.
I have reached the conclusion that society cannot be adequately protected from you.
And with that, Justice Heath sentenced Parker to an indefinite period behind bars.
On Jamie's behalf, he just wants to convey his utmost apology to his community that he's let down so badly, the children, the teachers, his headmaster.
But the apology fell on deaf ears.
I just keep thinking about our boys, and I'm hurting. The only word I can say.
She says James Parker stole the innocence of those he had a duty to care for. He was the master manipulator, and his legacy is one of shame and anger.
And Michael Morrow's live now from Whangarei. Michael, a truly harrowing story in court today.
Yes, well, it certainly was, and it just can't be understated just how much of an impact Parker's offending had on the community. He was so popular when some of the boys initially came forward with stories of abuse, their parents simply did not believe them. And look, one of the boys spoke in court of contemplating suicide. He said he had lost interest in normal school activities like kapahaka, music and sports. And look, Parker's offending certainly was calculated. He created an environment at his home which drew his victims to him. And as he left the dock today for the cells,